There are moments in life when everything feels uncertain, when you question your direction, your purpose, and even the meaning behind the challenges you face. You might be searching for a sign, some proof that what you're doing matters, that you're on the right path, that your struggles have meaning. And maybe, just maybe, this video is that sign, not because of luck or coincidence, but because you were meant to pause, reflect, and understand something deeper, a truth the Stoics knew centuries ago. The universe doesn't send signs randomly. It reveals lessons through reason, reflection, and alignment with nature. The Stoic philosophers, men like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, believed that the universe is not chaotic. It operates with order, reason, and wisdom. Marcus called it the logos, the rational soul of the universe. And he often reminded himself, whatever happens to you has been waiting to happen since the beginning of time. In other words, every event, every meeting, every challenge is not an accident. It's part of a grand design, meant to shape your character and test your strength. So if you're here listening, it's not without purpose. The universe may not speak in words, but it communicates through timing. When you reach a point where you're lost, restless, or ready to change, certain ideas appear before you, ideas that awaken your inner strength. Stoicism teaches us that when you're ready, life places the right wisdom before you, not to comfort you, but to awaken you. Maybe you've been ignoring your inner voice for too long. Maybe you've been chasing distractions, relationships, or material things, thinking they'll fill the void inside you. But Stoicism says your peace has never been outside you. It's always been within your control, in your thoughts, your actions, and your perception. The moment you realize that, you stop searching for signs and start becoming the sign yourself. Think about it. The Stoics didn't sit around waiting for miracles or divine messages. They believed the greatest message from the universe was life itself. Every sunrise, every hardship, every opportunity to practice virtue. When Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body," he was reminding us that life's toughest moments are not punishments. They are the universe's way of molding your inner strength. Right now, maybe you're going through something heavy, a loss, a betrayal, a failure, or just a deep feeling of emptiness. You might be asking, why me? But the Stoics would ask, why not you? If the universe chose you to carry this burden, perhaps it's because it knows you're capable of bearing it. You're being refined, not ruined. The pain you feel is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your awakening. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, whatever blocks your path is not your enemy, it's your teacher. That heartbreak that shattered you, that failure that embarrassed you, that silence that isolated you, they're all signs pointing toward growth. They're not there to destroy you, but to push you to evolve. The Stoics understood that life doesn't give signs through miracles or omens, when it gives signs through experience. When you start to notice patterns, the same lessons repeating, the same mistakes resurfacing, the same kind of people entering your life, that's the universe trying to tell you something. And Stoicism asks you not to ignore those messages, but to analyze them calmly, without emotion. What are you being taught? What virtue are you being asked to develop? Patience, courage, discipline, or acceptance? Maybe you've been resisting change because it feels uncomfortable. But remember, comfort never built character. The universe doesn't send ease when you need growth. It sends friction. And that friction is your sign that transformation is near. This is your reminder, your final sign, as the title says, to stop, waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect person. The moment is now. The universe has already aligned everything for your growth. The question is, will you act? Epictetus said, "Don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually does. Then your life will flow well." This is the Stoic path, not controlling the universe, but aligning with it. Once you understand this, you stop feeling like life is against you. You realize it's been guiding you all along. Every detour, every delay, every disappointment, it wasn't random. It was all preparation. So if you've been looking for a sign to let go of what's no longer serving you, this is it. If you've been waiting to start that new chapter, this is it. If you've been asking whether you're strong enough to face what's next, you are. The universe doesn't give signs to the weak. It gives challenges to the chosen. Breathe deeply. Look around. Reflect on how far you've already come. You're not behind, you're right on time. This isn't the end, it's your awakening. This video didn't find you by accident. It found you because your soul was ready to remember who you are. And as the Stoics would remind you, everything that happens for your good, if you choose to see it that way. Now that you've recognized that nothing in your life happens by chance, the next question is, and what do you do with this realization? The Stoics believe that understanding the universe's order is only the first step. The true wisdom lies in how you respond to it. They didn't just seek to interpret life's events. They aim to live in harmony with them. And that's where your power lies, not in controlling what happens, but in controlling how you respond when it does. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That single line holds the entire foundation of Stoicism. The universe will continue to unfold according to its nature. People will leave. Plans will fail. Moments will test you. But how you interpret those moments will define your peace. Stoicism teaches you that the universe's signs are not there to predict your future. They're there to prepare your mindset. Let's say you face rejection, a job, a relationship, or a dream that didn't work out. Most people would call that bad luck or misfortune. But a Stoic would pause and ask, what if this isn't punishment? What if it's redirection? Maybe that door closed to protect your time, to save your energy for something greater, or to force you to grow in patience. Every time life says no, it's also saying not yet or look deeper. The sign isn't the event itself. The sign is how it transforms your understanding. Seneca once said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." And this means your struggles are not signs of failure. They are confirmations of progress. When you encounter pain, it's not the universe abandoning you. It's the universe training you. Every setback becomes a spiritual exercise, an opportunity to practice endurance, courage, and wisdom. To act on the signs from the universe the Stoic way, you must first develop perception without panic. The Stoics called this apatheia, not emotionlessness, but freedom from being ruled by emotion. When something unexpected happens, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" This single shift transforms confusion into clarity. It turns chaos into direction. Another key Stoic practice is reflection. Marcus Aurelius used his journal as a way to process what the universe was showing him each day. He would write about his struggles, his thoughts, and his lessons, not for anyone else to read, but to align himself with reason. You can do the same. When you face something difficult, write it down. Ask yourself, what part of this is within my control? What virtue can I practice here? Patience, humility, or courage? How will this moment make me wiser tomorrow? The universe speaks most clearly to those who are silent enough to listen. In a world full of noise, endless distractions, comparisons, and desires, the Stoic finds meaning in stillness. That's where clarity emerges. So if you want to recognize your signs, slow down, observe. Life is always whispering guidance, but only the disciplined mind can hear it. Epictetus taught that we suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgments about them. The sign from the universe isn't that you failed, lost, or struggled. It's that your perception needs adjusting. You're being called to rise above reaction and into reflection. This is why the Stoics practiced self-awareness daily, not to predict the future, but to respond to the present with wisdom. Sometimes acting on a sign means letting go. You can't receive what the universe is trying to give you if your hands are full of the past. The Stoics understood the importance of detachment. They didn't cling to outcomes or people. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that everything is temporary, not to become hopeless, but to stay grounded in what truly matters: virtue, reason, and inner peace. When something leaves your life, it's not gone. It has simply fulfilled its purpose in your journey. But Stoicism is not passive. It's not about sitting back and waiting for fate to decide your path. It's about aligning your will with nature's flow, taking action in the present moment, guided by reason. Once you see the sign, act on it. If the universe removes something, don't chase it. If it places an opportunity before you, don't hesitate. The Stoic knows that hesitation often kills destiny more than failure ever could. Your duty is not to control outcomes, but to act virtuously regardless of them. As Marcus said, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. That is the ultimate response to any sign from the universe and to live with. Integrity, courage, and purpose right now. When you begin to live this way, something extraordinary happens. You stop needing external validation. You stop chasing signs because your life itself becomes a sign of strength, balance, and wisdom. You radiate calm in the middle of chaos because you trust the process. You realize the universe doesn't test you to break you. It tests you to reveal you. So the next time life sends you a challenge, remember, this is your training. The Stoics didn't see destiny as something to fear, but as something to cooperate with. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even the parts you don't understand yet. This is the Stoic path, to observe without panic, act without fear, and trust without blind faith. To see every moment not as an obstacle but as a teacher. There comes a moment in every person's life when they must decide what they truly believe about existence. Is life a series of random accidents, or is it guided by an unseen order, a deeper wisdom that knows more than we do? For the Stoics, the answer was clear. Everything unfolds according to nature's reason. Nothing happens without purpose, even if our limited minds can't yet see it. Building unshakable faith in the universe's plan means learning to see order where others see chaos, to find meaning where others find despair, and to trust that every event, even pain, is part of your becoming. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history, lived through wars, betrayal, illness, and loss. Yet in his private writings, he never complained about fate. Instead, he wrote words that echo through centuries. Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs. He understood what most people still struggle to see, that the universe doesn't make mistakes. What happens to you is also happening for you, if you choose to interpret it through wisdom. But faith doesn't mean blind belief. In Stoicism, faith in the universe is not about superstition. It's about understanding that the laws of nature, cause and effect, growth and decay, are constant and fair. The same intelligence that governs the stars governs your life. When you align yourself with that truth, you stop fighting reality and begin flowing with it. The Stoics called this harmony with the universe amor fati, the love of fate. To love fate means to not just accept what happens, but to embrace it. It's the mindset that says, whatever happens, I will make it my ally. This kind of faith transforms you from a victim of life to a co-creator with it. Every experience becomes useful. Every difficulty becomes raw material for growth. As Seneca wrote, a good character when tested shines brighter. To build this kind of faith, you must first release the illusion of control. Most of our suffering comes not from events themselves, but from our refusal to accept them. We want life to follow our script, smooth, predictable, easy. But the Stoics remind us that nature's plan is far more intelligent than our desires. What feels like a detour may actually be the exact route you need. What feels like loss may be protection in disguise. What feels like delay may be divine timing. Faith in the Stoic sense is a discipline, something you strengthen every day. You build it by trusting small things first, trusting that challenges have lessons, trusting that pain shapes strength, trusting that uncertainty is not your enemy. Over time, this trust grows until nothing can shake your peace. When others panic, you remain calm, because you understand the universe doesn't work against you, it works through you. Epictetus, who was once a slave, taught this better than anyone. He had every reason to resent fate. He was born in chains, beaten, and silenced. Yet he rose to become one of the greatest teachers of wisdom. His secret was simple. He stopped wishing for things to be different. He said, seek not for events to happen as you wish, but wish for them to happen as they do, and your life will go smoothly. In that sentence lies total freedom. When you stop demanding life to serve your expectations, you begin to see its deeper beauty. Building faith also means practicing gratitude even for your struggles. Marcus Aurelius often thanked life, not for comfort but for challenge. He understood that gratitude is not just for what is easy, it's for what refines you. The next time something doesn't go your way, instead of asking, why me? Try saying, thank you for the lesson. Thank you for the strength I'm about to discover. Thank you for reminding me that I'm capable of more than I thought. That shift in attitude is where Stoic faith lives. not in perfect circumstances, but in unbreakable perspective. The universe is always guiding you through balance. Not too much, not too little. Every gain is matched by a test, every success by humility. The Stoics didn't resist this rhythm. They learned to dance with it. To them, destiny wasn't something to escape. It was something to cooperate with. When you learn to say yes to life as it is, even when it hurts, you open the door to peace. Remember, faith doesn't mean never feeling doubt. Even Marcus in his quiet nights questioned himself. But each time he returned to the same truth, that everything happening now has already been written in the fabric of time, and his only duty was to respond with virtue. That's what Stoic faith looks like. A steady heart in the middle of uncertainty, a calm mind in the storm, a trust that even your pain has purpose. So if life feels unclear right now, if you're wondering why certain things ended, why people left, or why you've been tested so many times, don't lose hope. You are being shaped for something larger than comfort, wisdom, endurance, greatness of soul. Trust that the path you're walking is the one meant for you. In the end, faith in the universe is faith in yourself, because you are part of it. The same intelligence that moves the stars also beats within your heart. The Stoics understood this on the deepest level. You are not separate from the universe's plan. You are the plan, unfolding moment by moment. Knowing that everything happens for a reason is powerful, but living that truth every single day is where true Stoic mastery begins. The difference between a thinker and a Stoic lies in application. The Stoics didn't just talk about philosophy, they lived it. Their strength came from practicing wisdom in ordinary moments, during conflict, loss, success, or solitude. To apply Stoic faith and the universe's guidance in your daily life, you must learn to blend awareness, discipline, and action into everything you do. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled the greatest empire of his time, began each morning by reminding himself, "Today I will meet people who are selfish, ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, jealous, and surly, but I will not be shaken by them." This was not pessimism, it was preparation. He was training his mind to expect life's challenges and meet them with calm acceptance. That's the first Stoic principle you can apply each day. Expect what will test you, and prepare your mind to remain unshaken. When you begin your day, don't ask for things to go perfectly. Ask for the strength to handle whatever comes. The universe doesn't owe you comfort. It offers you opportunity, the opportunity to practice courage, patience, and control. By starting your morning with this mindset, you train yourself to stay centered even when chaos hits. The second step in applying Stoic wisdom daily is learning to pause before reacting. Life will constantly present situations that trigger emotions, anger, frustration, disappointment. But Stoicism teaches that your first reaction is never the problem. It's what you do next that defines your peace. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The universe often tests you through people and events to reveal where your discipline still wavers. So the next time someone disrespects you or a plan falls apart, take a breath. Remind yourself, this is my training. This is the lesson I asked for. That pause, that single moment of awareness, is what separates the reactive from the wise. The third daily habit is reflection. The Stoics treated reflection like a spiritual exercise. Marcus wrote every night, Seneca advised evening self-review, and Epictetus encouraged self-questioning. Before you sleep, take a few minutes to look back at your day and ask, did I act with virtue today? Where did I lose control of my emotions? What lesson was the universe trying to teach me? This small ritual builds incredible awareness. You begin to notice patterns, recurring challenges, similar mistakes, or repeated lessons. These are the universe's ongoing signs. Life will keep repeating lessons until you learn them. Reflection ensures you never miss the message. The fourth practice is detachment from results. Most anxiety comes from trying to control outcomes that are not in your power. Stoicism divides life into two categories. The fifth Stoic application is gratitude and presence. It's easy to overlook how much the universe already gives you. The Stoics practiced mindful gratitude, noticing the sunlight, the breath, the small moments of peace. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to look at the stars and see yourself running with them. It was his way of remembering that life's beauty is always around us, even in chaos. Start your mornings with gratitude. Thank life for another chance to grow. When you appreciate the present, the universe responds with clarity and calm. The sixth daily habit is action through virtue. The Stoics never waited for signs passively. When they recognized a direction, they acted calmly, decisively, and with purpose. If the universe presents an opportunity or nudges you toward a change, don't hesitate. The universe rewards the courageous. Every small action taken with integrity becomes an act of alignment with destiny. To live this way means living intentionally, not drifting, not reacting blindly. It means embodying your principles even when it's inconvenient. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Let your calmness and chaos be your message. Let your patience and difficulty be your proof of faith." Lastly, apply Stoic faith by trusting timing. The modern mind wants everything now: success, healing, recognition. But the Stoic mind understands that life's timing is perfect. Marcus wrote, "Time is a river. The events of life are its waves. You can't control when or how the waves move, but you can learn to surf them with grace." When something doesn't happen when you want it to, it's not denials, it's preparation. The universe delays nothing without purpose. So, as you walk through each day, remember, Stoicism isn't about avoiding emotion or pretending to be unaffected. It's about mastering your perception, trusting the flow, and acting with virtue no matter what happens. When you live this way, the signs from the universe stop feeling mysterious, they start feeling natural. You begin to see the order in everything: the delay that protected you, the rejection that redirected you, the pain that made you stronger. And when you reach that point, you'll no longer ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, you'll whisper, "This is happening for me." That shift, quiet, humble, powerful, is where Stoic peace begins and never ends. At some point on this path, you stop looking for signs and start becoming one. You stop chasing meaning outside yourself and begin to realize the universe has been within you all along. Every heartbeat, every breath, every thought is proof that you are part of something vast, intelligent, and alive. The Stoics understood this deeply. To live in peace is not to separate yourself from the universe, but to recognize that you are the universe expressing itself in human form. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have within you something stronger and more divine than anything that could happen to you." This was not a poetic exaggeration, it was truth. The Stoics believed that the same divine order that governs the stars also exists in the human soul. When you live in harmony with that inner order, with reason, virtue, and acceptance, and you no longer feel small or lost. You begin to see life as a grand, interconnected design. Every joy, every loss, every silence has meaning because it is part of your growth. This awakening doesn't happen through force or wishful thinking. It happens slowly, through reflection, resilience, and surrender. You begin to notice that the very things that once broke you have built you. The moments that once confused you now make sense in hindsight. You see that the people who left, the pain that stayed, and the detours that appeared all played their part in shaping your wisdom. This is the moment when Stoicism stops being philosophy and becomes a living experience, on a quiet knowing that everything truly does happen for your good. Seneca once said, "Fate leads the willing and drags the unwilling." In other words, you can either resist life or flow with it. The more you resist, the more you suffer. The more you align, the more peace you feel. The universe has a rhythm, and faith means trusting that rhythm. Even when you don't hear the melody clearly, when you stop forcing life to match your expectations, you discover that what's unfolding is far greater than anything you could have planned. To live as one with the universe means to accept that change is its language. Everything changes, seasons, people, emotions, opportunities. The Stoic doesn't fear this truth. They embrace it. Marcus Aurelius reflected on this constantly. Observe how all things change, and be prepared to accept that nature loves nothing so much as to change existing things and make new ones like them. Every ending is a beginning in disguise. The death of one chapter gives birth to another. When you internalize this truth, loss no longer feels like destruction. It feels like transformation. And as you begin to trust this process, your relationship with life shifts completely. You stop living reactively and start living consciously. You become the calm in the storm, the stillness in the noise. This is the highest form of Stoic strength, tranquility.